Hello everyone, it's Jimmy here and welcome back to the channel. So it's cherry blossom season here in Vancouver, and I honestly didn't notice that until I looked out of the window of my study and saw my neighbor's yard. It was just mesmerizingly beautiful. So I asked Abby if she wanted to shoot some portraits and she happily agreed, but I know that I've never been good at shooting portraits, so naturally I thought about bringing out my Noctilux because I thought, if you blur out the background, focusing on the subject, that's what portraits should be, right? And since I have two Noctiluxes, the E55 f1 Noctilux and the f1.2 Noctilux, so I thought about, sort of comparing them, and since I've got two lenses, why not also bring in two bodies? And we can also compare, digital versus film, that sort of thing. So I ended up mounting the f1.2 Noctilux on the M7 and then the f1 Noctilux on the Leica MD262, which is my digital Leica of choice these days. Since the shoot is going to happen under bright sunlight, so I also put a 3-stop ND filter on top of these lenses, so everything should be fine. And we went out for the shoot, and here are the photos. Let's take a look. So we arrived at the scene around midday, and the light is a little bit too harsh, so we ended up not taking a lot of photos. And when I come back, I look at the digital files and was like, I can barely tell there's cherry blossom going on in the background because everything's just been blurred out. So I thought maybe Noctilux is too overkill for this shoot. I mean, of course you can stop it down, but what's the point of bringing such a heavy and chunky lens if you're just gonna shoot it at f2 or f2.8, right? So what I did for the next session is I've swapped the f1 Noctilux on the MD with a black paint, very beautiful black paint rigid Summicron, because I always liked mounting vintage glasses on digital bodies so they don't get overly sharp. And I've also mounted the 50 Summicron version 5 on the Leica M7, and I thought that would also be a very interesting comparison, to see how these two lenses renders and also how the digital files will look compared to the film. So here are the photos. All right, so it was quite an interesting session because initially, after looking at the first set of photos from my digital file, I wasn't quite happy, and I thought that film look really fits this, cherry blossom portraits session. But it ended up being, in the second round here, I actually liked digital files quite a bit more. It was an overcast day, and somehow the film files came out really, really warm. I know Fuji film tend to leaning towards the colder side, but still, compared to the digital file, it's so much warmer. I can't imagine how it will look on a Kodak film. And also, while I was editing the digital files, I intentionally emphasized on that sort of cooler tone and sort of that more cinematic look. And I guess it worked out well with this particular set of photos, and I definitely would pick those instead of the film ones. So what do you think? Do you think it's because the vintage, rigid sort of look made these photos better? Or do you think it's the color, the tone that made these photos better? Or if you think the film photos captured the scene in a better way, that's totally cool as well. Just leave your comments down below and let us know. So yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.